The city of Bayreuth may have been founded in the 11th century, but things didn't really get going until 1603, when the Margrave of Brandenburg moved his residence here from nearby Kulmbach. And following many fires and invasions, there's little here from before the 17th century. There are some exceptions, of course. This apothecary, still a pharmacy today, is a bit older and boasts, if that's the right word, elements no modern designer would dream of today. Running through the historic centre of Bayreuth is Maximilianstraße, which is up to 45 metres wide, making it one of the biggest examples of a Bavarian street market. This is a feature of several Bavarian cities as opposed to the more normal market square, although calling it Bavarian is slightly inaccurate. Bayreuth didn't become Bavarian until 1810. On the day I was there, it was being put to use for a kind of local automobile trade fair. The historic figure that has arguably had the most influence on the city is the 18th century Margravin Wilhelmina of Prussia. Born in Potsdam as the daughter of King Frederick I, she suffered greatly at the hands of her dysfunctional and ambitious parents, as well as a sadistic governess. Her marriage to the eldest son of the Margrave of Brandenburg was arranged, but apparently successful, and so she came to live here. Although she couldn't wait to leave Berlin, she was very disappointed with Bayreuth. The palace was dark and dusty, the upholstery ripped to shreds, the curtains around the bed disintegrated at the slightest touch. The people of Bayreuth were unsophisticated peasants, and even the food was boring. After the death of her father-in-law, when her husband became the new Margrave, she set about modernising the place. She helped him in his attempts to stamp out high-level corruption and was herself an accomplished musician, composer, playwright, novelist, actor and architect. For her 35th birthday, she was given a plot of land outside of Bayreuth with a little palace that she immediately set about extending. She also built a new palace which, in keeping with the vaguely Greek theme of the park, featured the sun god Apollo. Back in Bayreuth itself, when the Margaretville Palace was damaged by fire, Wilhelmina helped to design the new palace. But perhaps the one thing she gave the city that really ended up defining it was the Margraveville Opera House. It was opened to celebrate her daughter's wedding in 1748, and the interior has changed a little since. It's currently being renovated though, and isn't expected to reopen until 2018. It was this opera house that later attracted the most famous name to be associated with Bayreuth, Richard Wagner. Looking for a venue away from the big cities where he could put on productions of his own works, he came here but found the opera house to be too small. Still, he liked the city and so built his own special festival theatre which opens only for a few days a year and is dedicated to performances of his operas. The first of these Bayreuth festivals was in 1876. Unfortunately, while Wagner was no doubt a great composer, he was also brazenly anti-Semitic. Later, his children actively supported the Nazis. This makes Wagner a difficult figure for Germans to deal with and explains why the park around the festival theatre includes an exhibition on the Nazi persecution of Jewish musicians and the role played in it by the Wagner family. Wagner also built this house for himself and his family, Haus Wahnfried. But he was getting old and the climate disagreed with him, so he spent a lot of his time in Italy. And so it was that he died in Venice in 1883. His body was returned and buried here. In the 1930s, Wagner's birthplace, the city of Leipzig, planned a memorial to Wagner which was almost finished by the end of the Second World War. But after the war, because it was planned and designed by Nazis, it was never erected, but broken up and sold off. 2 panels are in Bayreuth, in an easily overlooked spot on a busy road. It is a monument not so much to Wagner, but to Germany's troubled relationship with him. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to send me a postcard, here's the address. And don't forget to visit my website and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Also, if you'd like access to special bonus content and help with the costs of running this channel, please consider making a small monthly donation on Patreon.